How's it going, Apex fam? Welcome into another video. Got a couple of tracks this week that you may have already seen. If you've been lurking around in DCL The Game, you might have already seen these. Spring SoloTrials is the LAAX 05 HolyBro AULINE. This one I think we saw a little bit last year. It is very, very tough. But don't worry, I have faith in you, and hopefully I'm gonna help you get to grips with how this works. I've just plugged in my controller, so I'm gonna have to quick go in here to mind its. There we go, perfect. Okay, so this track, right, was one of the first ones that we saw, I think. When DCL started putting in some weird and wonderful random tracks for us last year. So you'll come off of here. It's kind of easy to avoid the the great big snowplow thing, but you want to be sticking really tight and flat to these first couple of cones, which can be quite difficult when you're literally flying immediately off of these start blocks here. Just kind of spot the first one and get tight to the second one and line yourself up for this gate. You want to be approaching it from pretty low down, because as you can see, it's a little letterbox until you actually get inside. It's a bit like the one on the oil bando. That gap doesn't really open up an awful lot if you're at the top like this. It's going to be you're going to have a bad day if you're trying to get through that gap from there. You're going to have a bad time. So come in low, as per usual, and as you're coming out, you want to immediately be kind of swinging your way around to the right here. I feel like if you feed in too much yaw, the quad will start to go up too high, and sometimes you'll miss the gate. So you want to kind of be coming alongside the flag rather than going over the top of the flag as you come around here, just to make sure that you ping that gate. But also, you want to be relatively low to come through these things, because if you're too high, the line is really, really tough. You can see they kind of angle downwards, both of them, both sets. The second one more so than the first. But if you can line it up so that you can see, you just kind of saw it there. You can see the whole way through, right? That's where you want to be. If you're trying to line those gates up from below, it gets very difficult because you've got to kind of come off the throttle and avoid headbutting that last one. Similarly, if you're coming in too high, it's very difficult to dip down in time, because the way that the gravity works in DCL, I wouldn't say it's floaty. It's very realistic to a big 7-inch quad with a canopy on it. So I wouldn't say it's floaty, but just you've got to remember that these things handle very differently to your normal 5-inch. So if it seems like it's kind of floaty, just understand that that is actually the kind of the way that the physics work. As you do come through these, just bear in mind that as you're coming through the last one, you want to really be pre-turning as quick as you can in order to get through that little HolyBro gate there. This next bit is just a kind of a drag. This is very reminiscent of LAAX Frost Crown that we saw last week, 3 gates in a row. So it's pretty simple. If you mastered that, you'll be able to master this pretty easy. Just keep it as full stick as you can and pre-turn your way out, and just keep following the turn. So it's a big left-hand turn. Just keep over to the left, and kind of, I don't want to say rainbow flip, but kind of a rainbow flip, I guess, through that box. These are just your kind of standard sort of like multi-GP style ladder gates. My only real tip with these is this is a good grinding spot for the week. Literally kind of grinding your way around these, a bit like the pressure track, and then grind your way through the next one. I always find this one more difficult for some reason. And then kind of find your way back to this one again, maybe go down instead of up. You know, just float around, have fun, get used to flying these things, because it'll pay dividends when you're actually hitting them on the track, because they are probably one of the more difficult sections of the track to think about. So again, just keep it tight. Don't forget, like, you don't be afraid to modulate the throttle, and just remember, as you come out the top of that first one, you're going to be immediately flicking back to go the other way. So yeah, it takes some practice. I still go very wide, I find, on the entry to the bottom one. But hey, you know, you can only, in the heat of the moment, there's only so much you can really expect out of yourself, I suppose. I still need to get myself into a mindset where I can really attack these tight turns. So yeah, I think if we're going to crash anywhere on my attempts, it's either going to be those first gates or it's going to be those. As you come out of the last one of these, you'll be lined up to swing past there, cut it close, and then we're on to lap 2. So yeah, there you go. That's what is this, LAAX 5? I wish they'd have a more creative name for it. It feels like a very technical track. Maybe it's a sign of things to come. Of course, DCL are racing at LAAX virtually this year, which is kind of cool. I love LAAX. Nate, I know we said last week you don't enjoy LAAX. There's a lot of people that don't, but you know, it'd be nice to change it up, bit of a change of scenery. I'm excited for the night races, I think, more than the day races. The day races are a little bit bland and white, just everywhere. The night races are cool, lots of neon lights. The last bit here, one thing I will say is, as you come through this gate for the last time, just don't be too low, because it's easy to kind of try and you kind of feel like you want to get over the tops of these HolyBro signs, and it can send you into or over the top of the gate. Or similarly, if you don't do it enough, you can end up just flat out bouncing off of them, which is awful and will ruin your lap right at the last minute. You don't want to do that because you'll have a bad day. So yeah, there you go. MCK lucky, 40 seconds. What am I? 6 minutes 26 there. That's pretty. Yeah. Let's just forget that time. That never happened. So I'm 10 seconds off the pace at the moment, I think. You know, there's still a whole week left to be flying this track, so I'm recording this Tuesday. It was a bank holiday yesterday. I didn't have a great amount of time, so I'm still feeling the need to really put some stick time in on these tracks at the moment. All right, one more go. You can tell I'm not a massive fan of this particular track. I find it very, very tough. It's these gates, I think, are the worst bit. Oh, one more. It's easy to get frustrated, you know, just because you will hit these gates so often, and the collision detection feels a little weird, I won't lie. Maybe the gates are just a little bit too small for the size of quads, but oh, come on, we've got to at least get through those gates. Oh, I don't care. Oh, man, I want to get one lap. Yeah, just make sure you're hitting them dead center, because if you're even slightly off, it kind of feels like you're bouncing off of, well, kind of nothing, I suppose, really. Whoa, okay, slowly. Okay, it'll just have to do. Don't worry, the replay's not as bad as this, okay? The replay's actually okay. It's only 10 seconds off the top pro times. Alright, let's crash this time instead. See what I mean about coming in too high? You want to be really low through there. Otherwise, you're just not going to have a good time. Whoa! To the moon! I think everyone's finished and we're still going. Oh, man! Hey, it's okay, we recovered. I find spatial awareness very difficult on this map as well when it's when it's all like snow and the sky's quite white as well. It's just difficult. Oh, yeah, I didn't say. Coming through here, make sure you're really, really tight. Like, I know that's kind of obvious, but it's so easy as you come through this bit, because you're not used to necessarily turning left because you've just spent a whole 3 gates turning right. You can overshoot it like that. I have done that so many times. Just take your time through here, come off the throttle if you feel like you need to, and really punch it around, because there's nothing worse than smashing into that gate when you've hit everything else so damn well. Anyway, look. Potato mode. FPV, what do we want? Personal best. Let's go. You see, straight line it, a little bit up and down, a little bit twitchy. This, full chat. Kind of a little rainbow flip, split S through there. You can see this needs to be tightened up. Second bit wasn't too bad, maybe a little slow. Reverse entry through there, still a little bit high. And the last one was pretty nice, pretty tight. Bit of a twitch through there. I think I was quite aggro at this point. I smashed into these so many times. I was a little better through there. Didn't really pre-turn the way out of it though. Probably go a little faster. Again, oh, just squeaked through there. See what I mean about going wide on that first one? And that kind of widens up the rest of it, which kind of screws it up. And again there. Nice around the bottom part though. Flip it through there. Almost too low. And then dip down into the finish gate. So yeah, that was LAAX. LAAX number 5. Not to be confused with Mambo number 5. Hope that was useful. I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's that for this week. I mean, it's a tough track. Like there's no denying it. It is a very difficult track. But I think it's another one that's very good for testing yourself on, and I think it combines some of the elements that we hadn't seen before that DCL kind of started putting into a lot more of these tracks now. So I've got a feeling that certainly when the 2021 tracks come out for the LAAX round in particular, I think we're going to see a lot more of these ladder gates and even things like the gravity gates and all that kind of stuff. We're going to see a lot more of them. So if you want to be competitive going forward, it's good to learn now. And me included, I still have a lot of work to do on these obstacles, but now is a good time to really be grinding out things like ladder gates, really, getting yourself super duper tight the whole way around, that kind of floaty kind of swooping through backwards, all that kind of stuff. So this is a great track to practice that on. And yeah, I mean, what were we, 50 seconds? The pros are at 40. You can tell it's going to be a tough week if we're sort of like 10 seconds down. But good luck. I hope you're doing well in the drafts as well. Same as last week, I will leave a link below, if I remember, to our draft tracks playlist. I hope you're doing well in the qualifier. Remember, it's top 200 on Steam, top 50 PlayStation, top 50 Xbox. So good luck with that. I will see you guys in the skies. Fly safe, fly fast, fly Apex, and catch you guys in the next one.